Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with Phantom Strider. So, yeah. So, hope your sweet tooth's ready, because this is the top 10 worst fast food dessert fails. Well, I think I remember him talk about one, the Bacon Sundae from Burger King, if memory serves. I'm not too sure of any other failures, so let's see what you got, Strider, and see how bad these fails were. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Howdy, welcome back. Fast food joints have a wide array of delicious sweet treats available, but some are taken off the menu, never to be seen again. Some of these desserts can only manage a test run. Customers might think they're too weird, taste terrible, or TikTok fans might make viral trends out of them. Either way, fast food is among my favorite subjects. So let's chat about the failed or cancelled fast food desserts.
Let's begin.
I'm ready. Delicious dessert.
First up,
the McDonald's McBakery. In
Oh,
2023, it was all over the news. So the news that had nothing better to talk about anyway. The end of the McDonald's bakery. For a few years, the bakery offered three fine, piping hot items: the apple fritter, the blueberry muffin, and the cinnamon roll. The apple fritter was cinnamon-covered apples, fried and covered in a sugary glaze, and the cinnamon roll was drizzled with cream cheese icing and served warm. But in July that year, all three were suddenly discontinued, and a lot of people were not too happy with this news.
I can't imagine.
Please wake
Oh, what the hell?
Nightmare. I've done nothing to deserve this. Oh, hi, Nen.
Hey, Dennis.
Many more spoke of the distress of their loss on social media.
This time, McDonald's have gone way too far. This is McDonald's worst decision in years. McDonald's, if you get rid of the cinnamon roll, there will be chaos.
Do we have sources on this? Right, okay. So
Twitter,
when the cinnamon roll was discontinued, there wasn't chaos. I know, I was worried.
Not surprised.
And every news outlet had the same joke when this was announced.
I'm not loving it.
Yeah.
When reached for
Had to be
comments,
said, I guess.
the McDonald's representative said,
We're always listening to what our fans crave, so we're phasing out our McCafe bakery lineup. Yeah.
That's their way of saying it didn't sell well enough. And
yeah,
this
that's
does make
basically
some sense to me, as I've seen these McBakery items in stock since 2020. McDonald's aim with these was to offer more handheld and easy to serve foods during the pandemic. But never once in those 3 years did I see anyone holding or eating an apple fritter, a blueberry muffin, or a cinnamon roll. So who's to blame for this? Well, me, I guess, for not buying them. I guess when most people want a bakery item, they go to a bakery or maybe a donut shop. I go to Tim Hortons if I'm in Canada, or Blondie's Bakery if I'm in Australia. The Today Show thought maybe the bakery items were taken off the market because the world was opening up again, and I think that's a fair assumption. Hey.
Honestly, I think I actually heard of this. Wasn't this just due because, like, you know, they couldn't make them fast enough? I mean, remember, they're about speedy service. Or, wait, am I confusing that with something else? I don't know. That's just what I remember. What about you guys? Do you remember why they closed it down? I thought I heard it was just they were too, like, slow to make. I don't know. Man, I did have those cinnamon rolls. They were pretty good. Anyway.
Number 9. The Grimace.
Ah, there it is.
Grimace. For some
not
reason,
bad.
this purple monstrosity of nature is a media darling. Social media just loves this guy. Perhaps recognizing this, McDonald's celebrated the very iconic occasion of Grimace's 52nd birthday. Not his 50th, his 52nd birthday, which is clearly more iconic. And the shake was swiftly cancelled at the end of Grimace's birthday celebration. But even if it was brief, it received a viral social media craze. The shake itself consisted of vanilla soft serve and berry flavors. That's it. McDonald's doesn't really do complicated. I guess they chose berry flavors because Grimace is the color purple, and I guess that makes Grimace a berry. I don't know, I thought he was more pear-shaped. Anyway, and according to Wikipedia, Grimace loves milkshakes. Did we ever establish that? I mean, we know
don't remember that.
Loves hamburgers.
Yeah.
You're the Hamburglar.
But it was
he stole the burgers again.
He loves milkshakes. I know he loves Storyland, but I get the appeal as the Grimace from my childhood was pretty nostalgic. I still remember the Grimace mascot appearing in all these ads with Ronald. My personal favorite was Grimace in Storyland. That stuff was great.
Wow, I'm in Storyland.
Anyway, Gen Zers were loving this shake. Or at least the creative ways they could make videos out of it. Probably not the taste. Some TikTokers and YouTubers were seeing millions of views with just talking about the Grimace Shake and drinking it. It was known as the hashtag Grimace Shake trend. They'd drink the shake, and oftentimes they'd find themselves in ominous, horror-like situations. Or sometimes they'd even be found unconscious, covered in the drink.
I'm just making sure these kids don't take a sip of my milkshake.
Anyway, for a short time, the trend was powerful advertising for McDonald's. So Grimace was popular on social media for maybe 1 month. Then, like most often, I guess people moved on to something else. Or maybe people actually tried tasting the grapey concrete mixture they'd been watching videos of. Well, you see, according to many reviewers, the taste was rather bad. When customers asked, the staff would often say it tastes like Grimace. Ew. But when customers
want to know what that tastes like?
Reviewers like Rachel from Elite Daily said,
I'm not a fan of this confusing flavour. It's very fruity and artificial tasting. I don't like it.
Insider didn't care for it much
Imagine.
either.
I can't figure this confusing flavor out. Artificial and ultimately overwhelming.
So many reviewers were just perplexed on how to describe the flavor beyond it tastes like purple. Though there was some
Is it a
positive
good thing, a bad
reception,
thing?
like
Let
this
me know.
Twitter post here,
It tastes like fruity,
Fruity
pebbles.
Pebbles.
Fire symbol.
or this post
I
here.
guess.
So good. It tastes like fruity cream pies.
So despite the bad taste, Grimace had
You got
chicken
me. I
nuggets.
got nothing.
McDonald's described the trend as brilliant creativity and peak absurdist Gen Z humor.
Absurdist
Yeah,
Gen
I
Z
think it's a
humor?
fair
Okay.
description. 1
Yeah, that does sound about right, the
billion
whole
views later,
bleh.
Grimace finally saw what was happening on TikTok. And needless to say, he was
Didn't
a
like
little
it.
freaked out. He responded on TikTok and Twitter with this.
Me pretending I didn't see the Grimace Shake trend.
Yeah, I'm pretty weirded out too, pal.
I mean, to be fair,
And for number
they're
8,
saying it drinks kills people.
the Choco Tacos from Taco
Oh.
Bell. I have no idea how this one didn't last. It's like one of those choc tops you get at the movie theater, but taco shaped. Taco Bell's no stranger to some
Fair.
sweet treats to go along with your burrito. They've got cinnamon twist, caramel apple pastry pockets, cookie sandwiches, and of course the churro, a Spanish delicacy. But the ice cream company
Didn't they have
Klondike
Cinnabon lights
collaborated
now?
with Taco Bell to bring
Those are
us
pretty good.
these Choco Tacos. But sadly, they were discontinued in 2022. Much to the dismay of Twitter fans. But my big question is, how did they actually taste? They look great. Well, they're essentially vanilla ice cream in a sugar taco with milk chocolate coating. What did taste testers say? Well, Good Mythical Morning chowed into this one. Let's see what they said. They called it complex, and that's it.
There's a lot to experience.
Many layers.
Complex.
Which doesn't tell us much. So what
Yeah.
do other
Anyone
taste
else?
testers think?
Eater,
the
huh?
sweatpants taster compared it to drumstick ice cream.
I love the combination of the cone, ice cream, the chocolate and peanuts all in one bite. The drumstick wishes
Fair.
it could do this.
Oh, I miss that nutty chocolate fusion. It sounds delightful. You can
I mean, it
understand
doesn't
why
sound
many
too
Twitter
bad.
Fans are upset by it disappearing. But the ice cream company Salt and Straw recently announced they're making a new version of the chocolate taco, coming to their stores instead. So at least we'll have an option.
Okay.
Though their version is coated with toasted brown rice, which doesn't sound as appealing to me as, say, ice cream not coated in brown rice. And they've only been made
Actually, why
temporarily
rice?
available in Disneyland and 7 other cities. Either way, I am legitimately disappointed I've never got to try a chocolate ice cream taco. And for lucky
Honestly,
7,
I'm surprised.
the Jack in the Box bacon
Oh,
milkshake.
it's Jack in the Box.
A meat-flavored milkshake.
My bad.
Who in their right mind makes this? Do you remember the bacon sundae? The sundae with bacony bits in it? Well, Jack in the Box saw this and said, hey,
Oh,
how can we
different
make
one.
this
Okay.
even grosser? Bacon sundaes just aren't outrageous enough. Both were made in 2012. I guess 2012 was the year of stupid food ideas.
Or
Kit Kat pops from Pizza Hut.
According to this
okay, I was
Twitter
gonna say
post
the year of
from
the bacon,
Jack
but you
himself,
proved me wrong.
It's sweet and
Salty.
salty. I call it swalty.
Jack, I hate
Swalty?
to break it to
Ew.
you, good sir, but it looks as nightmarish as you.
Yeah,
and
that-
the chains certainly
No
lack
thanks.
confidence
Thank
in
you
the
very
item.
much.
As according to ABC News, the shake was a secret,
Secret menu item.
This bacon horror wasn't listed on any menus at restaurants. In fact, the chain had so little confidence that it came with a disclaimer that the drink is quote-unquote as limited
Limited as limited
can
can
be.
be.
And when your drink comes out colored like century-old lead paint, well, who can blame them? I found a taste test for the shake from many years ago in an old blog from the Impulsive Buy. According to their review,
It's damn intriguing, but also gross, and I'm scared of it. Oh dear, I just gagged. It smells smoky.
the smokiness probably comes from the shake's
Bacon?
bacon-flavored syrup, because apparently that was a thing when they tried tasting it.
It's
Okay.
not repulsive. Yay!
Okay.
It wasn't overpowering either. It just had a creamy smokiness. Weirdly, it tasted like coffee at the back end.
Based on the
Back-end
lackluster reviews
coffee?
I found, I
does
doubt
that
this
work?
bacon milkshake will ever make a return. And some reviewers said it
Yeah,
lacked that
even I can see that
deliciously
not happening.
salty, fatty flavor of your standard bacon sundae. It was 773 calories anyway, so probably not your doctor's first
Yeah, just stick with the ice cream.
Number 6.
Next,
The
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A
cheesecake.
Oh, I'm intrigued by the ultra-religious chicken sandwich place attempting a cheesecake. What's it like? Well, I think I know why
Got
they
me.
stick to chicken sandwiches now. If this post is believed,
Looks
it
like a
looks
paper
like
bag
a
with-
paper
tastes like
bag,
what?
and it tastes like a
paper
paper
bag.
According to this review, anyway.
Oof.
But another review
Really?
site had much warmer reviews.
It has a rich
Oh,
flavour
bye,
that
kitty.
is the result of high-quality cream cheese and vanilla. It's very moist and smooth in texture.
So clearly this cheesecake was missed by some people. According to Mesh,
So-
this New York-style cheesecake was pulled from Chick-fil-A in 2012. They claimed they wanted to make room for new desserts like cookies and brownies. I think it would have been more difficult to store cheesecake and serve it by the slice as well. I gotta say though, this
Yeah, honestly,
cheesecake
that
probably
is
had
easier
the
with
tiniest
the
following
cookies
of
and
fans
brownies
I've ever
rather than, you
found
know,
on a fast food.
cheesecake.
I mean, even the bacon sundae is more missed than this thing. Now,
That's right,
almost
okay.
every discontinued fast food or snack has its own change.org petition, because that's what change.org is for. Discontinued desserts. But
You'd
only
be
a
surprised.
total of 23 fans actually
Wow.
wanted the Chick-fil-A cheesecake to come back.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay!
And to those
Pretty
23
much.
fans, my condolences.
Yay.
I think you should come together and have a cheesecake party. And you know, you could all put some
there are
money
better
in
places
and
for
order a decent
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
I mean, to be fair, don't eat a lot of cheesecake. I don't know. I mean, I like cream cheese, but I just never found the appeal. I mean, I don't even remember them having cheesecake. That says a lot. And again, I think I was still in middle school back then. Or maybe high school. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. It was either middle school or high school. Well, anyway, halfway there. Let's keep moving. Let's see what else is next.
Number 5.
5.
The Ding
Ding
Dong,
Dong
ice cream sandwich
sandwich?
from Carl's Jr. Well, it's not
Ding
the most
Dongs?
appealing name for an ice cream sandwich, is it? I understand Hostess came up with the name back in 1967,
Hostess Ding Dongs, you love 'em.
but I just never pictured this small spherical goat turd called Ding Dong to make an attractive dessert. Supposedly, this one was inspired by the Carl's Jr. Strawberry Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich. And I guess after they managed to sell that, they thought, hey, clearly we can sandwich an ice cream between anything. The result was, well,
Ding
I
dongs.
rarely see a dessert this blatantly fugly. Fun fact, originally I put this Ding Dong sandwich on the thumbnail, but people
but-
kept going,
That's so ugly. Put it away.
I'm sorry.
that
here's
bad?
a picture of a goat instead. The Ding Dong itself has been a staple American snack cake for decades now. Basically,
I think I had that
small,
once. I
unsightly
just
chocolate
don't
cake
know
with
how
a
it tasted back
creamy,
then.
marshmallow-like filling. But hey, maybe it tastes better than it looks. Food
Well.
Beast tried it.
It's pretty darn tasty, but it's exactly what it sounds like. A Ding Dong chocolate cake filled with ice cream.
When I checked YouTube,
not
the
surprised.
taste testing was approximately 50% Ding Dong jokes, but for the other 50%,
Bang.
I like that it's got the softness of the ding dong, but it's so messy. I had to eat it over a trash can.
geez, that'd be a disaster for the car taste testers.
No
I want
kidding.
this thing to melt all over us.
No one likes the messiness, but my favorite impression was
Yeah,
probably
fair.
from this person here.
It tastes like summer at the pool.
Like summer at the pool.
Pool,
It
huh?
just really evokes an image, taste, and memory to me. Overall, the tasters were pretty pleased. And if
Yeah,
they fixed the messiness,
nothing wrong with that,
it might have
yeah.
been a pleasant, portable, crowd-pleasing dessert.
True. Might have been from the Ding Dong. I don't know why.
The Cupcake Sundae Shake from Burger King.
Jeez, Cupcake Sundae Shake.
Cupcakes and Sundae ice cream. That actually sounds like a delicious combination. Unfortunately, appearance-wise, it's yellow. According to sources,
Doesn't look
it's
that
apparently
bad,
meant to look
but-
like yellow cake. But as an ex-toilet cleaner, I don't really find the term yellow cake appetizing. Burger King made the cupcake shake way back in 2010 to try and compete with the popular shakes over at McDonald's. For some reason, there was this huge cupcake craze around 2010. Another good example that year was the Pebbles cupcake cereal. But much like the Cupcake Pebbles, the Cupcake Sundae Shake was quickly discontinued. The shake was a pretty
I guess sometimes
straightforward
things just don't go well with
You've got
cupcakes.
the milkshake itself, combined with whipped topping, cupcake icing, and sprinkles. Sounds like a very sweet combo. What do people think? Well,
Too sweet?
we're looking back at the
Let's see.
ancient days of 2010. So we'll have to look at some old internet blogs. Donut for Dinner did a taste test. What did they think?
It tastes like eggnog, but the whipped cream is so
Eggnog?
dense that it sinks to the bottom of the shake.
The Impulsive Buy noted it tastes like eggnog too, and cake.
It tasted like I was eating yellow cake batter, except without the possibility of getting my tongue stuck in a hand mixer. And it brought
Why?
back memories of those days when my classmates would call me Cupcake Face.
What an odd nickname.
Cupcake
Anyway,
face?
Despite some fans'
I don't wanna know.
mishaps, the Cupcake Shake barely lasted a year before being discontinued. But hey,
Well, I'm
points
not
for
surprised.
creativity, Burger King.
You do you.
Hey, number 3.
Three.
Woo.
Next.
McDonald's cherry
Cherry
pies.
pies.
Despite Mickey D's now being known for their warm apple pie.
Like warm apple
Apple
pie.
pie.
No, not that one. These ones. The
not
cherry
apple pie.
pie is a staple in North America and Canada. Typically, they're made on Canada Day, which is harvest season. And those bright cherry pies were on the McDonald's menu for a long time.
Gotta love a pie.
Despite them not really containing a whole lot of cherries. So I
Let me
guess
guess,
they weren't
filler.
technically cherry pies, more like sugary red coloring pies.
Could be.
Despite this, people seem to love them. There was even a song about them. Customers would often bite into their cherry pie after their Big Mac or Quarter Pounder. Yet in 1992,
Seems like
they
a
decided to completely
big one.
replace the quote-unquote cherry pie with apple pie. Why? Well, they had a very rocky history. There was a lot of noise about them being too hot or not cherry enough.
Careful, McDonald's apple pies are always a little hot.
So I didn't really get a lot of cherry flavor.
Did
maybe
warn
just
'em.
a little bit.
Both perfectly fair complaints. One example of them being too hot was described in this meme.
If you are not old enough, let me assure you, this
Old enough.
pie was served at the surface temperature of planet Mercury.
The issue even got a
Yikes.
comment from a staff member.
I remember burning myself every time
Jesus.
I heated these bad boys up.
And I
Is that
agree.
from the
As a
cherries?
kid,
What's
I
going
found
on
myself
here?
in these all the time. And given McDonald's record with coffee, it doesn't surprise
Yeah,
me one of their other
whoops.
foods was way too hot. Then, of course, there was a whole not cherry pie issue. Back in the 70s, there was a
Okay.
big debacle from our friends at the Food and Drug Administration.
The FDA.
The FDA was called to investigate incidents of
Or just
economic
FDA.
deception, which was their fancy
Oh,
pants
boy.
way of saying the cherry pies weren't cherry enough. In order to be considered a cherry pie, cherry pies had to be at least 25% cherries. And you know, that
Cherries by
seems
weight?
perfectly
Without
fair.
the thickener.
But McDonald's was failing to manage to make their cherry pies even a quarter cherry. According to the
Really?
Consumers Union report,
How much was
some
it?
cherry pies did not even contain half a cherry. Oh, come
Wait,
on.
half a
this
cherry?
is a new low even for you guys. But in reality,
does that work?
none of this was the true downfall of the sugary red coloring pie. You see, the original
fire
red
starter,
pie was
apparently the
fried.
Ted.
And when McDonald's began baking their pies in the 90s, sales plummeted on the pies. According
Oops.
to The Sun, one employee said,
Cherry pies were very low turnover. You may like them, but when we only sell like 10 of them a day, it's tough to justify keeping them on the menu.
and what's our delicious
I mean,
number 2
can't
choice?
blame 'em. I'd probably
The
get rid of 'em too.
Breeze from Dairy Queen.
Really?
In
The
90s,
Breeze?
We had Britney Spears, Aqua, Glow-in-the-Dark Stars, and Froyo, aka frozen
Frozen yogurt.
Back then, everything had to be low fat, and frozen yogurt promised just that. In more
Well, let me
recent
guess.
years, society
Not so much.
transitioned into a more low
Zero
sugar
sugar.
craze. realizing that excessive sugar could be just as bad
Yeah.
as excessive fats. And I do like that consumers are offered more low-sugar products, but
That's
I have no
good waste.
idea why the low-calorie phase has never taken off the same way as the low-sugar and low-fat craze. Anyway, many years
Got
ago
me.
when Netflix just began, Ted Danson stated a truth about frozen yogurt that has stayed with me to this day. You know, from The Good Place and Becker if you're old as me.
What's a food that people think they enjoy, but that's also kind of a bummer?
Frozen yogurt.
Frozen yogurt has always been kind of a bummer to me too.
It's just okay, which means it's perfect.
It's just okay. But years ago, Dairy Queen began to offer frozen yogurt, aka Breeze, as a healthier alternative to soft-serve ice cream. And I respect the idea of the Breeze. The Breeze was essentially a Dairy Queen Blizzard, but with frozen yogurt instead of ice cream. And the Breeze only contained like 5% milk fat, as opposed to the usual 10 to 15% in most ice cream. The Breeze was even available with fruit on top. Sounds delish. And
But
I do
I'm
wish
guessing
more
there's a problem.
low-calorie options like this were offered to people in fast food chains. Not just the choice between a 700-calorie burger or a 1,000-calorie burger. Unfortunately, fast food chains have just never managed to lower the calories in their supposed healthy items. Like, your typical fast food salad is more calories than a Big Mac. Might as well just enjoy the Big Mac. Anyway, because when fast food does seem to make a healthier option like the Breeze, they just can't seem to get people to enjoy the taste. And that's what happened here. People just
I think they
didn't
just
seem to like
can't
the
find a good
taste of Breeze
substitute,
that
you know?
much. It's
I mean, nowadays, there are
familiar.
good meals
It's
with
just
substitute.
okay. It seems like unless fast food joints lace their foods in salt, butter, and sugar, most customers just can't taste any real flavor in them. So yeah, the Breeze tanked
Seasoning.
primarily
What are you gonna
because
do?
they just couldn't sell them. In fact, sales on the Breeze were so low that their stored frozen yogurt kept spoiling. And despite low sales,
Yeah,
they
that don't
tried
sound
to offer
good.
it for a long time. 10 years.
You
in
know your
fact. And good
product's
on
bad
Dairy
when
Queen
they,
for
like,
trying to
mold
offer
over.
a healthier dessert option for that long. And before number one, what are our honorable
Honorable
mentions?
mentions? What do
The
you got?
Bacon Sundae
Oh.
from Burger King.
We already did this
Since
one.
I talked about
fast.
this thing in the stupidest fast foods, I left it off the list.
Yep.
But
You're
there are a
good.
surprising amount of fans to the Bacon Sundae. Some people commented they seemed to like the sweet, fatty, and salty combination. That's supposedly
You do
the
you, as
flavor
they
they
say.
got when they put bacon and ice cream together. And it's worth pointing out that some people push this
Yeah,
myth
no
of
evidence
fast
made.
food ice cream containing pig fat for a long time. But this is a case
Yeah.
where ice cream actually contains pig fat, because they're
I
literally
mean, yeah, I mean, at that
sprinkling
point,
pig
bacon
fat
does
on
have
top
pig
of the
fat,
sundae.
so
The
they
Fruit
just made
Loops
that one.
milkshake from Burger King.
Hello again.
Burger King coarsely chopped up some Fruit Loops and stuffed them in a soft serve shake with sweet sauce and whipped cream. Boom! Nostalgic overload. And possibly blood sugar overload. I like the way Junk Banter described the taste of this one.
The second sip
Ooh.
is a comforting, familiar flavour that tastes like
Keyword
a
the second,
Saturday
not the
morning
first.
Cartoon.
Pizza Hut Hershey Dunkers. Huh, what a
Hershey
strange
Dunkers.
look. It's
a
essentially
name.
Pizza Hut breadsticks with what looks like Cocoa Krispies, aka Cocoa Pops, with mixed nuts on the top. As to why these ones were discontinued, it's hard to say. But according to a staff member on Reddit,
They probably didn't sell well. I remember I made less than 5 of them.
Yeah.
a customer
Makes
commented
sense.
they were only good straight out of the oven, but after only 10 minutes, they were rock hard and gross.
Ooh.
Yeah, personally, it looks a little too sweet for my taste. The Unicorn Frappuccino from Starbucks.
Alright,
I
this-
so wanted to include this beautifully colored drink in the list. Look at this gorgeous thing. My thumbnail was inspired by just this rainbow effect. Unfortunately, the Unicorn Frappuccino was one of Starbucks' worst received Frappuccinos. So what went wrong? Well, the Unicorn was made out of ice, milk, pink powder, sour blue powder, cream frappuccino syrup, mango syrup, and blue drizzle. And after this massive
Yikes.
cocktail of combinations was released, it was panned by health critics. Health experts
Yeah, I
didn't
can
like
see
that
what's
it had
going on.
500 calories and 76
Yikes.
grams of sugar. But honestly, to me, that doesn't sound like that much for a frappuccino. I thought frappuccinos were meant to be sugary and unhealthy. Frappuccinos aren't exactly made for health enthusiasts. It was quickly apparent that the drink was made more for Instagram photos than actual drink.
Yeah,
as
pretty
one
much.
hit of this thing would keep some people up for a week. And with that, on to number
Yeah,
one.
like I said,
and for our
the sugar
number
will
one
probably do
failed
it to ya.
dessert, the
What?
Reese's Peanut Butter
And
Cup McFlurry from McDonald's.
Oh,
When
yeah,
it comes
McDonald's.
to McDonald's desserts, I think there's 3 ranking tiers of indulgence. Tier 1 of indulgence is the simple vanilla soft serve. Tier 2 is a sundae made with some nice caramel or chocolate syrup. Tier 3 of ultimate dessert indulgence is the McFlurry. 803 calories of pure, undiluted sweetness. So why not make it an even sweeter indulgence
With
and
some Reese's
sprinkle some
Pieces.
peanut butter cups on top? Personally, I wouldn't sleep that night. The recipe for this one
Eat 'em
was
up.
pretty straightforward. Soft serve ice cream mixed with broken up pieces of peanut butter cups, mixed in that traditional
Okay,
McFlurry
so what
style.
went wrong here?
This thing was the real deal. This short-lived wonder was considered the ultimate McFlurry flavor for so many people. Delish.com
Really?
even ranked it as the number
Oh.
one best McFlurry flavor of all time, according to them.
It's distinctly creamy meets flurry peanut butter. When spread through a soft serve, it reaches new heights of deliciousness.
Good vanilla, very sweet.
Strangely, this McFlurry
Yeah, I could
seems to
see
appear
that.
sporadically across countries. For example, according to this
Oh, yeah,
quiz,
recently came to
it
Dubai.
appeared in Dubai briefly back in 2023. It also appeared
you learn?
briefly in my country, Australia, in 2019. Back in 2012, it appeared and disappeared like a ninja in the USA.
Stop.
It even appeared in South Korea in 2016, selling at 2,701. Unfortunately, despite it being such a huge hit, I cannot find any reason on the web why it just keeps disappearing across countries. Given it's more
Maybe
loved than
they
the
just do
Oreo
it and
or
just
M&M's
never try it
flavor,
again?
My guessing
I
is
don't know.
it might be a licensing issue with Reese's, but that hasn't
Oh?
stopped fans from rallying to get it back.
Maybe?
Like the
That's
McRib,
the only
the
thing I can
Reese's
think about it,
McFlurry
right?
was a huge hit. Facebook groups and Twitter
Hmm.
accounts have been made to try and prompt McDonald's to bring it back.
Hashtag justice for Reese's.
So how's it taste? Luckily,
Well, I
old
haven't talked to
Nerd
Hershey's
tried
about
it back
that.
in 2015, eating it, of course, in the car, as is the taste tester tradition. He described
Sounds
it
about
as
right.
very rich and
Fresh
very
from the
creamy.
restaurant, I guess.
Nice big chunks of peanut butter pieces you can sink your teeth into.
Impulsive buyer was less impressed.
The distinctive Reese's peanut butter flavor
could
is
see
lost.
that?
It's as if the vanilla soft serve is the flavor vampire.
But most agreed it had a leg up on the traditional Oreo and M&M's McFlurries we're used to. So it remains a mystery to me why the favorite McFlurry flavor just mysteriously disappears and appears. And if you think I
Yeah,
missed
me.
a fun discontinued flavor, or you'd like to see any other particular food topics, feel free to let me know in the comments. And as always,
Thanks for
for
watching.
and hopefully I might see you next time. I
Bye
was
bye.
lucky enough to have lots of them.
Honestly, I think I see that happening, but what do you guys think? Honestly, there is a lot to think about, but, eesh, I'm surprised that one's on the list, because, I mean, it sounds like people liked it. Just not sure why it failed. I'm guessing low sales, but that's probably the only reason I could think of why it did not sell well. Don't know why, but that's just my best guess. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts. Till next time, see ya.